Well, for more on the trial, let's bring in law professor Mark Osler from the University of St. Thomas. Good morning, Mark. We heard, the three men actually comforting each other after the shooting. That's what we heard from the first officer on the scene, saying that they just had no choice to do what they did. How significant do you think their behavior there at the scene after Arbery was shot and killed stands out here?
It's one of those things that will matter to jurors because they look at the way people react to things. We think back of the Derek Chauvin trial, how much was properly made of Derek Chauvin's impassive nature as he was on his knee on the neck of George Floyd. And so I think that reaction that didn't fit the moment is something that will certainly be memorable at the end of the trial as much as it was at the start.
Well, the safety of the neighborhood also became a testimony talking point. The first officer there, again, that we listened to yesterday, Ricky Minshew, said that he couldn't render aid to Arbery because his first priority was making sure that the scene was safe and he needed to establish a perimeter. But then he also said that the neighborhood was not a high crime area. So what do you make of that?
I think he's going to be rightly put up for criticism. The family members have already criticized him for not rendering aid. It's the kind of decision that police officers make, in a split second. And one of the dangers of that is that when people are acting out of their instinct to some degree, that's where bias can come in, is in those split second decisions. And one has to wonder if his sense of how dangerous it was in part a function of the person he saw on the ground.
We also were talking about his body cam footage, too. It had been heavily edited due to how long it was. And this prompted several arguments from the defense with the judge even getting frustrated over this kind of continued, all these continued disputes that were taking place. Walk us through exactly what is the process for entering video like this into evidence, because prosecutors and defense attorneys already had discussed about what was going to be used prior to the trial.
Yeah, what a judge wants in that situation, anytime that you've got evidence that's going to have to be redacted or shortened, amended in some way, is the judge wants the parties to work it out so that it can come in cleanly and they're not fighting on the fly in front of the jurors. And I think the judge here thought that they had done that. And then once they got into the mix, it was not true. And you could see the frustration in the judge because, this is something where he thought that's their job to figure this out, to set the boundaries of what's in and what's out. And they didn't do that. And, the first time that he had to deal with it, there's some frustration. But then when it comes up again, that's not going to fly with the judge.
Right, especially in such a high-profile case that's garnered, attention across the globe. Mark Osler, thank you so much. Stay with us, too, please, because we're going to have more live coverage of the trial when it begins at 9 a.m. Eastern. Mark, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.